A big proposed increase to Thunder Bay's capital budget, thanks in large part to a controversial project. Good evening and thank you for joining us. The city's 2025 capital budget proposes a nearly $60 million increase over last year.
It's up for discussion at Monday's council meeting. The indoor turf facility is responsible for the majority of the jump. $32 million is budgeted for the facility next year. That's about 75% of its total cost. An additional $5 million has been earmarked for the temporary homeless village, with the city still considering two potential South Core sites. Nearly $48 million of the capital budget will be covered by grants and another $35 million by debenture loans. At-large Councillor Mark Bentz is the budget chair. He says new projects only make up 20% of this capital budget.
The remaining 80% they're going to dedicate to renewal and maintenance. So that's another way of trying to tackle the infrastructure deficit. Any tax levy increase all has to come out of the tax base rather than the growth. So we're trying to bring up the growth and push down the tax levy increase to the residents a bit.
A public capital budget survey is open until November 12th to give the public its say on the spending plan.
The federal government is highlighting funding for a local initiative to prevent youth dating violence. Lakehead University will get $980,000 over the next 4 years. MP Patty Haidu was at LU to make the announcement this morning on behalf of Mental Health and Addictions Minister Yara Sachs. Youth dating violence can have long-standing health and social consequences. Chris Musquash and his team will head up Lakehead's initiative, which focuses on research to prevent dating violence by youth. LU Vice President Andrew Dean says it's an incredibly important issue.
For our community, but also for the youth of today, to understand, what are the causes of trauma, what are the causes of gender-based violence, youth violence, and to be able to do the assessment and the evaluation of these programs in most effective ways is really, really valuable research, and we're really proud to have it be supported to Lakehead University.
Oftentimes young people don't even see the signs or understand what makes a healthy relationship, and can set up a pattern of abuse cycles for years to come. So I'm very thrilled to be here to announce this. This is one of 11 projects across the country that received the funding. And of course, it's going to a great group of people who are going to do amazing things with it.
Well, you heard it there. It's one of 11 initiatives across Canada that are getting new funding from the federal government.
The police chief for Anishinaabe-Aski Police Service has been terminated effective immediately. The board of directors for NAPS announced a decision today regarding Roland Morrison, who was suspended in March on allegations of misconduct. Morrison was appointed NAPS chief in April of 2019, at which time he became the first ever police chief from Nan Territory. The NAPS board says the conduct investigation has concluded, leading to the termination of Morrison's employment. No details about the nature of the misconduct are being made public. Interim Police Chief Terry Armstrong has agreed to serve as full-time chief while the board determines its next steps. Armstrong previously served as NAPS chief from 2013 until 2018 and came out of retirement when Morrison was suspended.
The relatively quiet forest fire season has officially wrapped up here in northwestern Ontario. The Ministry of Natural Resources has released its annual season-ending statistics, and as expected, the number of wildfires was well below the 10-year average. There were 218 fires across the Northwest region in 2024, burning just under 70,000 total hectares. That's on the heels of an above-average season last year. 2022 was the slowest fire season in recorded history in the Northwest, after 2021 was the worst on record. MNR Fire Information Officer Chris Marchand says every season is highly variable and hard to predict too far in advance. Along with the low number of forest fires this year, no communities had to be evacuated and no fire bans were imposed. Marchand notes that this was mainly due to steady rainfall back in the spring.
Ontario's 2024 wildland fire season was marked by a few notable developments. First of all, a really wet spring. We had consistent and widespread spring rains across the province, which largely reduced our early spring fire danger. as well as we got into the fall, we had a fairly active fire season experienced in both Ontario's fire regions with warmer and drier conditions found on both sides of the province.
Marchand points out that the quiet fire season overall allowed the MNR staff and aircraft to be deployed to major blazes in Jasper, Alberta, and several other provinces, where the forest fire situation was much worse this summer.
Thunder Bay police were called to the north end of the city's waterfront yesterday afternoon for an odd reason. Officers found a pickup truck near the end of Clavette Street that had driven into Lake Superior and was partially submerged. Initial reports to police were about a stolen vehicle being driven to that area. A 23-year-old woman was found and arrested. She appeared in court today, charged with vehicle theft, mischief over $5,000, and impaired driving.
Car thefts have become a huge problem across the province. Now, Toronto police say 59 suspects face a total of 300 charges in connection with an auto theft and revinning probe.
Police say they uncovered a scheme that involved registering phony vehicle identification numbers by Service Ontario employees. CTV's Siobhan Morris has more.
This used to be someone's car, stolen, its vehicle information number scrubbed and swapped with a new one. Just some of the 363 vehicles Toronto police have seized since launching an investigation in July.
Project Thoroughbred has led to 59 arrests and over 300 charges, including many counts of forgery and possession of stolen property.
This case had a few tentacles.
Service Ontario employees are alleged to have knowingly used fake documents
Provided by suspects to produce new VINs for stolen cars.
These fraudulent VINs were used to sell stolen vehicles to unsuspecting buyers at a significant discount.
Police say they also uncovered a series of chop shops where vehicles were dismantled within hours. Investigators have also tracked stolen cars to sea containers in Zambia and Belgium.
The vehicles that are in the Belgium location, they're on their way back to Canada.
At this point, no Service Ontario employees are facing charges.
Not yet,
Okay.
but they will be.
For agents of the government to be allegedly committing fraud,
Yeah, that's totally unacceptable.
the government says it's introduced measures at Service Ontario to prevent this sort of thing from happening again.
If you are caught knowingly helping people steal cars, whether you work for the government or otherwise, you should be in jail.
The Transportation Minister announcing new legislation aimed at preventing revinning.
Create a new provincial offense for knowingly providing a false vehicle identification number when registering or transferring a car.
The bill will include stiff penalties, too.
Up to $100,000 for convictions and 6 months in jail, as well as a suspension of a driver's license and vehicle permit for up to a year.
A risk the government hopes would-be thieves won't be willing to take.
And that was CTV's Siobhan Morris reporting. The Novemberger campaign is back with more restaurants than ever.
The annual event supports the United Way of Thunder Bay, helping fund food security programs in the community. Vasilios Bellows has the story.
An annual event combining great food with a great cause is kicked off once again. The United Way's Novemberger campaign is back and bigger than ever. This year, a record 41 restaurants are taking part, with $2 from every burger sold going to the United Way. CEO Albert Brule talks specifically about who that money will benefit in the community.
Food and shelter, to clothing, to mental health supports, supports for children, youth and families, supports for seniors. It's a huge array of programs.
The local success has garnered attention from other United Ways across the country, with an additional 9 launching their own campaigns under the guidance of United Way Thunder Bay. Last year, the local event saw more than 22,000 burgers sold, raising over $64,000.
I feel that we could probably do 30,000 burgers this year.
The great cause is what brought back Novemberger ambassador Damien Gilbert for his 6th straight year. He, along with the other ambassadors, including TBT News' own Haley Perot, will be testing their limits and seeing how many of the 41 burgers they can eat between now and November 30th.
Having done it solo, my previous year I did 30 the very first year, I think. So It would be a tough task, but it can be done. It's all for charity.
It's important for me to be a part of this because, well, A, I love burgers, I love eating food. And I also like to show my followers, the great cause that United Way, is bringing to the city.
And with 41 restaurants on board, there's a little something for everyone this year.
Seafood, we've got Cajun flavors, Jamaican island spice flavors, it's masala grills on board, so it's not even, Joey's Seafood, it's crazy.
Well, eating 41 burgers in a single month seems like quite the challenge. The longtime No Burger ambassadors say to take it one bite at a time. Vasilios Bellos, TBT News.
A lot of people enjoying some good food.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
All right, well, the Facebook group Thunder Bay Memories has helped reunite a local woman with some long-lost photos and her favorite car from 35 years ago.
Carrie Tom says she was stunned to see the pictures of herself as a teenager, but she got even more emotional seeing the old Camaro Z28 because of the special connection it has with her daughter. Jonathan Wilson has the story.
This is the car.
Yes.
Wow.
Ware Township resident Chris Jones recently bought a 1978 Camaro that was headed for the scrapyard for $800. Then he found a piece of someone else's history in it.
And I was going through it and was going through the glove box and found the pictures and posted them on Facebook. And not even an hour went by and Carrie knew about it.
My daughter-in-law, Danielle, sent me the post, like the original post, and I opened it on my phone, and I just sat there and I'm like, who has my pictures like this? Like, this is really weird.
The Facebook group Thunder Bay Memories has more than 40,000 members. Jones was hoping someone would recognize the girl in the grad photo or the one of her with a long-haired boyfriend. Carrie Tom replied to the post, "It's me, LOL." And she and Jones made plans to meet up the next day.
My eyes are watering. And he gave me the pictures. We started talking. I started crying because I remembered things were coming back.
I was pretty happy because I found pictures in older cars before and posted them. And no one's ever reached out or cared or anything. Some people knew who they were, but yeah, she was just as excited as I was, so it was pretty awesome.
The night the Facebook post came out, she had quickly sent another message to Jones asking about the car he found the photos in.
Then he mentioned the Z28, and I damn near died. Like, I'm just like, no way.
That Camaro was owned by Dan Monty. He and Carrie met as teenagers in 1988 and spent a lot of good times traveling around Thunder Bay in that cool muscle car. Carrie got pregnant a year later. Their daughter Cherie is now 34, and they also had a son. Years later, the couple split up, but remained close as co-parents. Carrie recalls that they sold the Camaro in 1990 because it didn't have enough room in the back for a baby car seat.
So, little baby, little Cherie, was conceived in the back seat of that Z28. Yeah, we bugged her. We used to say that we were going to call her Camaro. So all the years of her life, we have spoken of this Z28.
Because of that unique history, it makes sense that Carrie and Dan's daughter Cherie would like to have this car and get it back on the road. And Chris has been more than happy to sell it to them.
Her daughter and I are talking details, but as far as I know, she's going to take it and they're going to fix it up, hopefully. That'll be exciting too. I'd like to see it back on the road.
It's a dream for her. It's almost like she knew that this car belonged to her. She was made in the damn thing. Let's put her back in it.
She says the story of the Camaro Z28 has now come full circle. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
And that was definitely a special reunion. It's amazing how things come full circle. Well, another Thunder Bay man is now a millionaire, thanks to the Hospital Foundation's latest Thunder Bay 50-50 draw. Philip Duke took the call today from CEO Glenn Craig to find out that he'd won more than $1.66 million in October's lottery.
It's October 32nd today.
I guess so.
Do you know what we do at Friday at 11 o'clock?
I do.
So why do you think I might be calling you?
I'm a little surprised. I mean, I have a guess.
Well, what's your guess?
Absolutely
You are now a millionaire.
Well, that's crazy.
I imagine it's feeling a little crazy. It takes a bit of time to sink in, I think.
Duke says he didn't fully believe it until he arrived at the Thunder Bay 50/50 store at Intercity Shopping Center to get his big check. He intends to pay off his student loans, buy a house, and visit Japan with his brother. The Hospital Foundation has now made a millionaire for the 14th consecutive month. Tickets for November's draw are on sale now.